Last time on Nephthys' journey, we watched him grow from a lone hatchling into a powerful predator. After endless trials of hunger and survival, Nephthys finally reached adulthood. Our story left him deep in the forest, resting at last after crossing the river into new and unknown land. Today, his journey continues. I had finally reached this strange new territory. My instincts had carried me here, though I did not know why. And then I saw them, others like me, Utah raptors. My heart pounded. This was what I had been searching for, a courting ground. I watched them carefully from the shadows. They offered each other gifts, meat, feathers, bones, tokens of strength and survival. Wanting to belong, I rushed off, killed a small critter, and brought back its flesh as my offering. But when I returned, the others were gone. The place was empty. So I waited and waited. At last, another Utah appeared, a female. I darted forward, dropped my gift at her feet, but I didn't know what to do next. Unsure, I copied her every move. Her name, I would soon learn, was Candy. She snatched up my offering and ran. Surprised, I followed, my instincts pulling me along. To my shock, the path she took was the same one I had traveled before, the trail that led back to Rockfall Hill. Together we ran, resting only when exhaustion forced us down. Step by step, we returned to where it all began. At Rockfall Hill, others awaited us. Another Utah stepped forward, strong and imposing. Candy lowered herself in submission. I hesitated, but instinct urged me to mimic her. I dropped my gift, bowing low. The Utah approached, circling me slowly, testing me, judging me. I didn't understand the ritual, but I stayed still, watching, waiting. Finally, she stopped. A low rumble of acceptance left her throat. She had deemed me worthy. A chirp of joy burst from my chest. For the first time in my life, I wasn't alone. Two more Utahs arrived soon after. At first, I backed away cautiously, but my excitement couldn't be contained. I chirped again, happy, hopeful, ready to follow. For the first time, Nephthys had a pack. Would you, Lovi? In time, I learned their names. The strong female who tested me was Anubis, the alpha. Beside her were Harper and Jorax. They were my pack now. As we walked across Rockfall Hill, instinct told me to bring them gifts to prove my worth. I darted away, hunted down a small critter, and killed it quickly. Carrying it in my jaws, I bounded back and laid it before Anubis, chirping softly, urging her to accept it. But she did not. Instead, Harper stepped forward and took the offering. My chest rumbled with delight, my chirps spilling out happily. Still eager to please, I ran off again, Candy following close behind. By the riverbank, I found something strange and shiny, a beautiful clam. I grabbed it gently in my jaws and brought it to her. She accepted it, and my heart leapt with joy. Later, along the beach, I discovered the heavy curve of a turtle shell. I carried it back to the group and placed it before Jorax, chirping as he bent to inspect it. He took it with him, and again I felt pride swell inside me. But the most precious gift I found was a single red flower. Carefully, I carried it back and laid it before Anubis herself. This time, she accepted it. I chirped again, thrilled at her approval. Candy brushed against me, her eyes bright. She disappeared for a moment, then returned, carrying another red flower. She dropped it at my feet. For the first time, I felt a warmth deeper than instinct. I chirped back to her softly, clutching the flower with care. Later, Candy and I wandered off together. We explored the edges of Rockfall Hill, our steps carrying us into a quieter place where the trees stood thicker. There, we discovered a den carved deep into stone. Curious, I poked my head inside, but the scent told me all I needed to know. A nest was already there, claimed by another. I backed away, chirping low to Candy. She followed me out, and together we left it behind. When we returned, another Utah had appeared, a newcomer named Endo. Wanting to welcome her as well, I searched quickly and plucked a small white flower. I set it before her, hopeful, chirping brightly. But Endo only looked at it, then turned away, choosing instead to walk toward her mate, Harper. For a moment I froze, the flower still between my claws. Then I quickly picked it up and turned to Cairo, another Utah I had been watching. I set the flower before him, chirping encouragingly, jumping with excitement as he finally bent down and accepted it. My chest thrummed with joy, my chirps loud and happy, thrilled that he had taken my gift. After exploring the area further, Candy and I discovered another cave. At first, the opening was too small for us to enter, so we split up to look around. Soon we found two larger openings that led to the same cave. It was spacious, safe, and felt perfect. We decided to claim it as our own, placing our nest inside. I even blocked one of the openings, trying to make it less obvious to others. Once everything was in place, I decided to visit Harper and Endo's nest. When I arrived, Endo was sitting outside her nest, staring directly at me. I chirped happily, trying to greet her, but she did not respond, only kept watching silently. Feeling awkward, I moved higher up the hill. Suddenly, Anubis appeared behind me. I chirped in greeting, but she didn't reply either, her eyes fixed on me with the same intense focus. Harper came up shortly after, circling and staring at me as well. Their attention made me uncomfortable. I glanced behind me and noticed that the hill cut off my path. Anubis stepped closer, and my instincts told me I needed to act. I rubbed my body against her in a friendly manner, hoping to show I meant no threat. She stepped back slightly. Seizing the moment, I dashed past her and ran back toward Candy. Relief washed over me as we returned together to our cave. Safe at last, I curled up beside her in our newly claimed nest, heart still racing but happy to be back where I belong. Candy and I settled into our cave, and soon she laid our first eggs. I left the cave to hunt, bringing food back to feed our future chicks. During one of collecting food for Candy and our nest, back and forth I went, tirelessly stocking our cave until it was finally full. On one of these trips, I saw Cairo and Dove again. I chirped happily at them, greeting them warmly. Sadly, though, our own egg had been infertile and did not hatch. Continued gathering food, this time for Harper and Endo, trying to be helpful and care for their new chicks. Anubis didn't mind my effort, but Endo's anger was constant. Every time she saw me near her nest, she screamed and drove me away. Later, another Utah appeared, Jackal. I offered him a flower, chirping encouragingly for him to take it. He ignored the gift at first, inspecting me carefully. I rubbed my body against him in a friendly manner. He studied me for a while, so I did it again before finally leaving. Before returning, I grabbed a bone and left it at Harper's nest as a gift for her kids. Again, Endo chased me off, screeching angrily. Undeterred, I ran off to catch another critter, this time bringing it to Cairo and Dove. Dropping it at their feet, I chirped happily, satisfied that at least someone appreciated my gift. Then I left, already thinking of my next trip to gather food for Candy and our nest. POV. As night fell, I stayed away from Endo and the others. I wasn't really one of them yet. I was still an outsider. I watched them from a distance, unsure of what to do next. I grabbed a small critter and brought it to Cairo, dropping it at his feet and chirping happily. Then I followed him and Dove, hiding so they didn't see me, unsure of how to interact. Suddenly I noticed Jackal behind me. I ducked into the bushes, the darkness helping me blend in, and waited for the right moment to run. I dashed forward, only to run right into Harper. Chased each other around. Suddenly, I heard a painful yelp. Jackal had hurt himself, jumping onto a cactus. I ran over to him, and he yelped in pain. We became fast friends. I began following him everywhere, and we would jump over one another, chasing, playing, and learning together. During our adventures, I saw a snake. I killed it and ate my fill, then carried a piece to Cairo and Dove's nest to help feed their chicks, chirping to get their attention before running off to find Jackal again. Later, I caught a rat and offered it to one of Endo's chicks, then ran away, watching Endo rush to protect her young. Around us, the pack occasionally squabbled, but I mostly stayed to the side with Jackal, safe in our bond. As night drew to a close, I found Jackal again and chirped happily at him. He ran off, not noticing me, so I followed silently. When he finally jumped right behind me, we ran together, chased one another, and eventually rested, rubbing our bodies together in comfort before standing up and exploring again. Jackal led me to his nest. It was a nice, safe place. I showed him mine, but before we reached it, we heard barking. Curious, we followed and found neighbors, other Utahs from a nearby territory. We greeted them before returning to our nest. Back at our cave, Jackal and I ran around, playing tag and jumping over each other. During one chase, Jackal fell and didn't get up. I stayed by him, sleeping close, until he finally rose. We rubbed our bodies together, a sign of trust and friendship. Soon, the pack spotted a triceratops in our territory. By the time a hunting party gathered, it had moved, but another one wandered into our area. Together, we worked as a team, Some distracted it, others attacked from behind. I climbed onto a rock, leapt at it, clawing and dodging, while other Utahs joined in. Eventually, I found its back exposed, and with a coordinated strike from me and the others, we killed it. I barked to call the pack, starting to eat, but Anubis growled at me. Harper explained that the alpha eats first. Once Anubis was done, we all shared the meal, then stayed near the body for a moment. Once we were rested, Jackal asked me to spar. I agreed, though I admitted I didn't know how. Anubis and Jackal demonstrated first. Anubis won decisively. After that, Cairo and Dove sparred while Jackal rested. Finally, Jackal recovered, and it was my turn. Using all my survival training from growing up alone, I sparred with him and won. Exhausted but happy, we all returned to our nests, curling up to sleep, ready for whatever the next day would bring. that's where we'll leave Nephthys for now. Growing, learning, and finding his place within the pack. From exploring new caves with Candy to bonding with Jackal and surviving alongside his pack, his journey continues to be one of growth, friendship, and adventure. If you enjoyed this chapter of Nephthys' story, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more updates. Don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss a new episode. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next adventure.